And we're live! Hi everyone. Yes, I'm back. We are not covering a survivor this time. We are going to be covering. Oh, welcome to Live Reality Game Show podcast. I guess I should introduce that. I'm here with Nathan, and when Nathan's here, you know we're here to talk about all things MTV's The Challenge, All Stars 3. We're here to talk with the cast. Nathan, how have you been since the last time we talked?
Ooh, I've been good. I feel like the break from seeing any challenge on my TV screen for a couple months has left me nice and refreshed. Like we're coming out of a busy school year, and I don't know, I'm excited for All Stars 3 because All Stars 2 is the last time I feel like I got a challenge, a satisfying challenge fixed on my TV screen. So, with all the rumors of everything else going on, this is the one that I feel like I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, because we have not had a challenge season since All Stars 2 because of the failure that was season 37. I don't even remember the name of the season. It was just that
Spies,
bad.
lies, and allies.
Oh god, that was terrible.
It's really the heroes, healers, hustlers of the challenge themes.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a good season. Oh, speaking of heroes, heroes, hustlers, rumor that their winner is going to be on 38. No.
Yeah, we'll see.
If
I think that's pretty confirmed.
Yeah. And out of all the Survivor winners to bring, you probably picked one of the worst.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that though.
Yeah,
We're going
but
to be talking about people who are coming back from MTV.
MTV's The Challenge. No Survivor talk. I'm kind of sick of Survivor at this point.
All real world and road rules veterans, challenge veterans, and this season on Survivor All Stars, not Survivor All Stars. This season on the Challenge All
All
Stars,
Stars.
it's all people who have either won or ran a final.
Well, yes. However, I feel like there's an outlier, and we'll get into this player once we get to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of these people has never made a final. They came close, but never made it. But before we get that, let's start with the cast. We're going to go in alphabetical order, so don't be looking into details being like, oh, they're saving the best for last. No, we're saving whoever is last in the alphabet.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes, yeah. Oh gosh, not another season of
Not
getting the
this
yeses.
again. Oh god, where is this person? Oh, there they are.
We need another name for yes.
We'll hopefully have a nickname throughout the season.
Or another word for agreement.
Yes. I mean, okay.
Okay.
So, okay. I'm pretty sure there's nobody with those initials. This is going to be a confusing season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's start with Brad, who's coming back from All Stars 2 from just missing out in the final. He has a challenge victory. He's won Cutthroat. He's been to a final or two. How do we feel about Brad coming back?
I mean, there's a lot of questions about Brad. Is he going to keep the beard?
Looks like
because I'm really hoping not. I hope the beard goes. It's not a good look for him. That's really the suspense that's in my mind. But really, Brad is a consistent face of the challenge over the years. If not one of the more meatheady personalities, I feel like he always is in the mix and just never gets there quite to the end. But he's always impressive at times. Just he also kind of flukes a lot.
Yeah, Brad. Brad, I guess he's definitely known for. I mean, literally, he hulked his way out of the season last time when he got him and Jody GQ'd straight into elimination.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never one that's been smart or been able to talk well. He always talks like he's like saying the most unbelievable stuff when really it's kind of like some of the things he just says that does not make sense. I mean, he's a regular face, so what can you say? I agree with whole please get rid of the beard. It is not good look. This is coming from someone who personally does not like beards.
Just not on that man.
No, not on any man. Very few people can pull it off, and I mean very few.
I feel like with Brad, I mean his if he was ever going to win a season, being partnered with Jody last season was his shot. That was his
And
chance.
and he somehow screwed it up.
Somehow, I mean, he had the dominant woman partner out of the entire cast, and it shouldn't have even been close to get to that end of that season, and they blew it. So, yeah, what faith do I have in Brad? I mean, his other shining moments in the past, I feel like the only time he like really did anything significant is winning that like motorcycle in the roller derby challenge.
In like Duel 2, not Duel 2,
Yeah,
Duel 1.
yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, he just doesn't have a ton of breakout moments or seasons. And so last season was one of his best, I would say. And it was largely because of his partner. And I just don't see that him getting partnered with somebody who's going to be as good.
Yeah, Brad, I feel like he's past his prime. Like, he was good back in the day, like around the cutthroat, well, around the time he won. And then ever since he came back in, I want to say Vendettas, he's just been kind of going downhill and just becoming like less rootable and kind of less likable.
Yeah, and the competitors, the male competitors this season are probably twice as competitive as last season's All Stars cast was. So I do not have the faith in him this time, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how he does. Now, from somebody who's becoming a familiar face to somebody that we've most likely never heard of, we got Cynthia. Now, Cynthia was on 2 seasons of the challenge. She was on the very first challenge season, Challenge All Stars, actually, I think it was called. The very first All Stars. And I think that was a season where, like, if you were on the cast, you technically won.
Mm-hmm.
And her second season. And her second season, I believe, is Battle of the Sexes 2, where she went home like 5th or 6th. At the very first challenge the women won. So what can we try to think of to say about Cynthia without being like, I don't know who she is?
I mean that's definitely I think even out of all the newbies, the newbies so called this season, I feel like she is the biggest question mark out of any of them. Yeah, she's a winner, but not of a like real challenge season. Yeah, not where there was losers, not a season where there was even losers. So like, yeah, hard to say what she's gonna bring to the table here. I think she's gonna find herself in eliminations early, and she should be concerned about that. But as we saw last season, if you can prove yourself early, then you might be able to get kind of a bye for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely about all who you know, and we haven't seen her at all, pretty much. We don't know if she knows anyone at the challenge. So she's be an easy person to be like, well, no, she has no connections. We'll just throw her into the first elimination. So it really depends. She could be a Leah or she could be an Ayana. She could go home as early as expected, or she could surprisingly make it to the final.
Yeah, I kind of am leaning towards more of a Leah or Sophia kind of run for this for her, especially looking at the other women in this cast.
Yeah, we got a lot
she's gonna have a tough road to beat a lot of this cast in an elimination challenge.
Yeah. Now, from somebody who we don't know to somebody we all know and love, we got Darrell.
Yeah,
he is a 2-time All-Star runner-up. He won his first 4 seasons, and then after that, he has not won since. Is this the season where Darrell finally gets the win? What are you gonna say?
It's really wild. I mean, like, this guy is a beast, and he's an absolute beast in pretty much every daily challenge. He pulls out in eliminations more often than not, although if he was thrown into more eliminations, I think we would see him lose more often. But that's not even necessary, because even when he gets to the finals, he just can't quite bring it to the top. And it's a little bit perplexing. I think Darrell, he has everything that he needs to make it all the way, and he just comes up short for, I don't know, bad luck, partners. What was it last season? Was it Kendall?
No, he was with
Was,
Janelle last season.
yeah. It's hard to say where he went wrong. Wasn't he only behind by a couple, maybe a minute in the end?
Yeah, it was like very close between him and Janelle and MJ and John A. And MJ and John A just got, it really did come down to just like bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
I think both times when he got second.
Yeah, because it was an eating challenge and then that little run to the puzzle, and they just happened to get the combination of the puzzle a little bit slower, partially because they missed this. I think it was because they missed the sign with instructions on it for like a minute. So
yes.
Yeah, bad luck. That's just bad luck.
Yeah, like, will people finally realize, hey, Darrell's got second twice in a row already in these seasons. Maybe we should target him first.
Well, and my prediction last season, if you remember, was that was going to be what happened, because how could you not see this guy as a huge threat? And he is defeatable in eliminations. If we look at his history, he can be beaten in those. So I don't know if it's going to happen, though, because last season he basically went untouched to the end.
Pretty much.
He's very good at the social game. We don't get to see a ton of what he's doing, but he makes inroads with both. Last season he made inroads with both sides of the house, and no one really bothered him. So I can see him doing the same exact thing. He doesn't really need to change his game as long as no one else is changing their views of him. And honestly, with some of the personalities of the other men in this season, I could see him skating by again.
Yeah. Darrell is that guy who just gets along with everyone. Like, nobody ever has beef with him. And that's how he always makes it to the end, because nobody ever targets Darrell because they always think Darrell's on their side.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at some of the guys this season, that's not going to be the case, because we got some the master strategist this season when we eventually get to him, who took out Darrell first before. Let's see if he can do it again.
And I think the one interesting person as far as Darrell's relationship that I want to look at this season is Nehemiah. Because I think with Nehemiah, he found himself on the opposite side of the house as Darrell and still didn't really go after Darrell. So is Nehemiah going to see Darrell as somebody he can potentially pull over at times, or is he going to realize that if he finds himself on the other side of the house again, that Darrell is actually a lost cause? I think a lot of it comes down to Nehemiah.
Yeah, it really depends. So let's see if Darrell can pull out another final 3 times in a row. Maybe he'll get first, or maybe he'll get third. And we got another big name. We got Derek.
Derek K.
K. Well, just Derek. We don't need longer have to get confused between which Derek we're on about.
Thank goodness, because that was confusing. Yeah, Derek. He's last time we saw him was last season.
And he went home third.
Yeah, he kind of went home shockingly early. The season before that, he made it to the final, kind of.
But yeah, he made he made the final and then got eliminated after the first leg.
Yeah, in a sad little paddling challenge. But like, we have to imagine if he was able to get to the running and puzzle portion of it, that he would have been pretty strong at that. And honestly, we haven't seen him get to do that since, I don't know, 30-30.
Yeah, pretty much. That was his last final.
Yeah, I'd like to see if he can do it again. I feel like with this cast, he might be able to leverage his social relationships, because when Derek is at his best is when he's kind of playing a very social game rather than a very strategic game.
Yeah, Derek, don't bother with strategics. And definitely in these casts, you can't rely on him being like, you go after me, you could go home, because now he's proven like he's beatable in eliminations. He can go home. Because that was his strat last season, be like, I'm Derek K. No one can send me home. And we saw he's beatable. And with Nehemiah back, let's see how that weird rivalry goes again. I really hope it's not a story again.
Yeah, so last season he lost against Brad in the fourth episode.
Yes.
What do you remember what the challenge was, the elimination challenge?
It was a weird puzzle challenge. It was like, get all these skulls separate the skulls into colors and make them in different row or one color in each row. It was something like that. It was like a weird slide puzzle.
Okay, yeah.
I think there was a physical element to it, but it wasn't that big.
Yeah, so I mean, he was beaten by Brad. I don't know that he's gonna be the top target, but I also could see him getting pulled into an elimination by some of the biggest guys in the season, thinking that if there's a size element like a pole wrestle, that he could be someone who's more beatable. Because sometimes the size and weight does matter, and Derek is a shorter dude.
Yeah, and that can definitely play a factor, and especially specifically with pole wrestle, which is when he lost. So I doubt he'd want to relive memories of that.
Yeah. So I think the thing to look for with him is he going to be that everybody's friend type of person, or is he going to find himself trying to make power moves? And if he's doing the latter, then I think he's going to find himself ending his game early again.
Yeah, don't swing too big, Derek. Now, enough about these men. Let's talk about what we really care about, the women, and who better to start off? Well, women that we actually know. And who better to start off with than Jemmy?
Oh, Jemmy, I am so glad she's back. She was, I think, the star of All Stars 1 in a lot of ways. The confessional queen. She was the little to Beth. And yeah, I see her doing a solid job again. She's good at the social politicking. She's got good allies of both men and women. She's gonna probably link up with Nehemiah again.
Nehemiah.
Yeah. Beth is not on this cast anymore, is she?
No, Beth's not on the season.
No,
sadly.
That's sad. I thought it was rumored at one point, but you know.
Yeah, I think she was rumored, but we can't have the whole family.
Can't have all the nice things. If only.
Oh, if only. Yeah, I cannot wait for Jemmy and Tina on the same season.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the confessions are going to be gold. We need her for the entertainment value. Will she do great in all the challenges? Probably not, but hey, as long as she's giving us the gold that we need in the confessionals.
And but you know, she can bring out a daily win here or there.
Yeah, maybe if it's a team challenge, there could be a couple of those.
Yeah, once in a while. She's not going to dominate, but
if she's in a position of power, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, she plays a strategic game, and when she has the maneuverability to make things happen, she's going to make things happen, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, she doesn't need challenge wins to get what she wants, to make the power moves. That's the thing with her. She doesn't need them. Some of these people need to win a daily challenge in order to make the big move or get out their threat, but she just needs the right people to win that aren't her.
Yeah. Hey, do we know if there's going to be what the structure is? Do we know what the structure is, basically?
No, it wasn't. We don't really know yet. If I were to guess, I think it might be similar to last season, where it's like might be individual, might be team, might be partners.
Mm-hmm. And then at some point they'll group into partners.
I hope not again. I hope this time it's just we get a male winner and a female winner, and it's all individual.
Mm-hmm.
Because we say all these times that all with partner challenges, it really depends on who your partner is, because you can get screwed over quickly.
I kind of like the partners, but I like the partners to be there from early on.
Yeah, from like the very beginning.
So that we can establish who these people are in their relationships. It's harder to do that because like we got partners pretty late in the season, and so like
It was like
those
halfway
relationships.
last season.
Yeah, it was pretty late though. It was only like what
10?
six teams, maybe 7 teams.
I think it was 6 teams.
And we basically were able to pick out the 2 that were going to likely go home because of who their partners were at that point.
Yes.
But
at
if
that
it was
point.
early in the season, then there's a little bit more wiggle room for who's going to go home when, and the strategies that can be played out. So, yeah, if they do that again, I just hope it's a little earlier.
Yeah, I kind
But
of
I'm
have
not
this
against
idea.
it.
Yeah, I have this idea of a challenge that they could do, where it's like, they do like a gauntlet style first challenge, like a big race, amazing race style obstacle course, and then
Mm.
you do partners like reverse, like you partner the first place male finisher with the last place female finisher, and then the first place female with the last place male, and then just keep doing that. Like second place male with second to last female, and then third with third last, and then so on and so on. Just so like it's very even. So it's not like you have like the best guy and the best girl partnered up going to dominate the season.
Yeah, I think part of the picking partners was a little bit led to some blast strategy.
Yeah, because they didn't know it was permanent partners. They thought it was partners for the challenge. So you had like Melinda and Nehemiah because they're real world buddies. We had Brad and Jody because friends. We had Tyler and Jasmine because like I get along with them.
Yeah,
Oh
but I
shit, I'm
think
stuck with
Tyler
them.
wouldn't have gotten screwed over if they knew it was partners for the game. I think somebody would have snatched Tyler up at that point.
Yeah, I feel like Jasmine would have just been standing around her all. It's like none of
I
you
mean,
want
either way,
me.
Jasmine was getting picked last.
Yeah, either way, Jasmine or Jasmine. I
but
was going to say
but
Jasmine
it's
or
at that
Casey.
point where you're trying to figure out where the votes are, like so. Yeah, I didn't love that. Let's think of a different mechanism. Like,
Yeah, let's make it random. And
mhm.
speaking of last season, let's talk about one of the winners of last season. Probably the ultimate star that came out of these All-Star seasons. We got Johnny.
Queen Jeanne.
Yeah, queen of never going into an elimination.
Oh, she's so impressive. I mean, can I just gush about her?
Go ahead, go ahead.
This woman has renewed, revitalized, resurrected her reputation from being a behind the scenes couch queen to being the dominant strategic goddess that has gotten to the end and proven herself in the last 2 All-Star challenges. She is amazing at playing the middle. She is amazing at deflecting targets, at throwing her allies under the bus, or more like letting them gently fall under the bus at the right times, at avoiding elimination at all costs. She is good at blending in, and she admits it's an under the radar strategy, but she is so good at it. She's good at the relationship aspect, and she's great at deflecting the target off of herself, and then she can prove herself in the end. I think that she is awesome, and I have all the faith in her to do well again this season because can she be stopped? I just don't even know if she can be stopped anymore. New face of the challenge. She should be on all of the promos. The fact that she is not the face of the challenge right now is racist and sexist. I'm just going to call it that.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll get on to Jordan next. Talk about racism and sexism. Yeah, Johnny is definitely the face of Challenge All-Stars. But I think her problem this season is going to be everyone knows her game. She's made the final twice. She came tied third her first season. She won her second. This girl, she avoids eliminations. People are going to be like...
Yeah, go ahead and finish.
I was going to be like, people this season, they love to harp on the fact like, well, you never went into an elimination. You didn't prove yourself. So people are probably going to be like that to her and be like, well, Johnny, you have all this talk. Let's throw you into an elimination and see if you can back it up. Which I hope they don't do. I'd love to see more Johnny secret behind the scenes strat. If she can make another final without seeing an elimination 3 seasons in a row, I don't think it's going to happen. But if this girl does, new face.
I already think she should be, but I don't know that she's going to avoid an elimination. But she can
Yeah.
avoid an elimination for most of the game, I think. I think she can probably stay out of it for the first half at least. But then at some point, they're going to use it as an excuse. I think the one thing going for her in this season is that All Stars 3 was filmed before All Stars 2 had aired. So,
well, people are
so
going to know that she won.
yeah, people are going to know that she won, but they're not going to be able to see her confessionals. They're only going to be able to see.
They're going to take the word of people who played last time.
Yeah, and so they're only going to see her season 1 game, which while her season 1 game was very strong, and we saw her strategy working for her, she didn't come off as overly threatening in any way. So I think she could potentially do it again if she can survive like one elimination or something.
And to be fair to season 1, like over half that cast that made the final had not seen an elimination. So if they're going in with that knowledge, she should be fine.
Yeah.
Now, I'd rather not talk about this next person. I'd actually would hope if we could avoid this person at all costs. But sadly, he's on the season. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to rant about him first?
Yeah. Jordan is probably the worst person alive. Not worst challenge player, just person in general. Like, just personality-wise, he is a piece of huge shit. And that's offense to shit. This guy, like, I just rather not we talk about him. He's a good competitor. Doesn't make up for the fact that he's a horrible person.
Okay, what's there to say about Jordan? Jordan's an asshole.
Yeah, Jordan's an asshole.
But okay, let me say let's just hypothetically give him the benefit of the doubt this season, which I don't necessarily think that I'm not advocating for, but I'm just gonna do it as a thought experiment. Okay, Jordan is a voice and representative of the disabled community, which he has his hand, which his hand's a little bit what do we say, shaped differently. So
he has one hand.
Yeah, basically. And so the fact that he can do so well in these challenges with one hand is really it's that is cool and impressive, and for a lot of people I know is very inspirational.
If only it was coming from a better person.
But accomplishments does not the person make. And we have seen him with a less than stellar and kind personality. And I think in his best way, if we're going to say anything, if he can do this right, if he can do this season right, it will be an image rebranding. If he can just play nice and be a nice person, I don't know if he has it in him, but if he can do that, I think he can reinstate himself with the public. It is possible, but he has to just not care about winning so much, basically. I don't know if he can do it, but Twitter hates him. And I'm sure he's aware of that. And these people are all, playing for some kind of public perception as well as some money in the game. So will Jordan care more about public image, or will he care more about being another, challenge finalist, potentially winner? I'm going to think he's going to care more about being a challenge finalist winner, but
yeah, he doesn't care if he comes off as an asshole.
Yeah, it has been a couple seasons away. Maybe he's cooled himself down a little bit. Was the last time he was on was Total Madness?
Yeah.
That was
back when he was engaged.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
And then his whole...
That was 2019. So, I mean, we're 3 years in the future. You can change a fair amount in 3 years.
Yeah, a regular person can, not Jordan.
Yeah, but he's been don't know, he's 32 now. He's one of the younger ones on the season. But, 32 versus, young 20s is a big difference. You go through a lot of maturing through those years. So 3 years maybe can be enough for him to like have a self-awakening. Maybe.
I like that you believe that.
I am trying to be optimistic and about this season. And
there's optimism and then there's reaching for it. Like Jesus himself will literally have to come down from heaven and perform a miracle on Jordan for him to not be the worst person alive.
Yeah, but let's be frank. Like there is a multitude of challenge men who should absolutely be canceled based on their appearances alone on the show, and yet a lot of them continue to come back.
Jordan is an example.
And of them are the face of the challenge, aka CT. So, and they can rebrand and fix their image over time and their public perception and persona. I have to think that Jordan looks at CT and is like, I want to be that guy. CT is doing like action movies now. Jordan's going to want to fix his image if he wants to have the type of career that CT is building for himself.
No, Jordan just wants to be Jordan. He doesn't look up to anyone. He doesn't care about anyone other than himself. Let's stop talking about him.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on to somebody who I think shouldn't be on the season, but not because I don't like them. It's just because I'm like,
wait, before we move on, is Jordan going to mesh with the other people in this season?
No.
Like, who's going after Jordan?
Wes.
Okay.
Maybe Jimmy. Depends on their relationship, because he still had the...
Does he have any friends?
Naya and him were on the same Real World season, and I think they made up after him making racist comments towards her in the Real World season, and then her touching him without consent on X's too.
Okay.
So
let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to someone who I think should stick with the regular show. I think she's too modern to be on an All Stars. Kayla. Now,
Kayla, yeah.
I like Kayla. I've always liked Kayla since her Real World season. Yeah, she has arguments and doesn't like my favorite challenge player of all time, Cara Maria, but I can still like her. She does make certain comments. I'm like, girl. But she's a great challenge competitor. She was strong. I'm excited to see her. I just think All Stars is more for players that we haven't seen in a long time. And Kayla, I think, is still fresh to where she can still appear on the regular season and it be okay.
Fresh and young. I mean, she's 29. Like, she's
29.
Not old. No. She's not old. And especially, I mean, maybe I think it's important to point out, though, how the challenge cycles through women contestants quicker than male contestants.
Yeah.
To keep them younger. The average age of the woman on a regular challenge season is lower than the average age of the men.
Yeah, I mean, Anissa is still on these modern seasons going strong, trying to get that win. She's been on 200 seasons.
She's a staple, though. I feel like Kayla, could be on a regular challenge season and would be a welcome face. She'd be likable. Like, put her back on that, absolutely. And maybe put her. Do we need her here? No. Am I okay with her being here, given the possible people who they could put on here? Yeah, I'm okay with her being here. Would I rather have her or some rando who I've never heard of before? I like Kayla. Like, I want to see her do well. She often plays as an underdog. It'll be interesting to see, if she's going to be able to get into the inner social circle of this season. I can see her being the type of like the Kendall or Kellyanne and being thrown in
all the
repeatedly.
Ks.
Yeah, I can see her being thrown in repeatedly as just kind of a scapegoat. Like, you're young, you're new, get in there. But she's done a bunch of seasons with a number of these people, so including like the Champs versus Stars crew. So she has connections.
I'm pretty sure her and Jenny are good friends.
I think so. I think they work together one season.
Yeah, they worked together a season. I think they hang out off season. So I think Kayla, I'm happy to see Kayla. I just think she should be more on regular challenge than All Stars. Like,
Yeah,
cut out Tori and put Kayla in her place.
sure.
Yeah. So excited to see you, Kayla. We still think you should be on the regular season, but happy to see you. Somebody I'm very happy to see and excited to watch. It's Kellyanne. I am so excited for Kellyanne. Talk about just pure comedic confessional gold. She's just so weird and quirky and amazing at the game. She was always second fiddle to Kendall, so it's funny the fact that they're back again. So I can't wait to see Kellyanne this season.
Yeah, we haven't seen her since the first All Stars. And she did well there, and I think she can do well again, especially if she can avoid being like an easy target. But now she has a little bit of an inside connection. There's a lot of people who have been on other All-Star seasons now, the other first two All-Star seasons on this cast, especially the men. I think it's going to serve her really well. Who was she partnered with then? Did she?
There were no partners. She
went
made
home
it to
with.
the no. She made it to the final.
Somebody.
Kellyanne made the
Yeah.
finals.
Oh, okay.
She made the finals and got joined third with John A.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, she's strong.
Yeah.
I think I can see her going deep. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't. She's not going to be an early target. I don't see her being a target at any particular point. So it's really going to come down to, can she either stay within a big in group or maneuver through the sides enough to never be stick out in people's minds.
Yeah. The one thing I can see Kellyanne maybe being targeted for, she might get into fights with certain male players that tend to argue with women a lot. So that could be a thing for her because she's somebody that does not accept toxic masculinity. I mean, we all saw The Island and how she was not afraid to talk back to these male players. So that could screw her over, but I'm just happy to see her. And the thing is, while she was always second fiddle to Kendall, Kendall was always a bigger target than her because people wanted the best girl, and Kendall was the best girl, but Kellyanne was always the second best. So it's like Kendall was like her meat shield. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes this season. Speaking of Kendall, I'm pretty sure she's next.
There she is.
Yeah. Kendall! Let's hope. Oh, Kendall booted right before the final her first season, medevaced her second season, back for a third. Are we happy to see Kendall?
Yeah, she hurt her rib the last season when she dove into the water. And so that's the last we saw of her. She was doing a lot better than her first All-Star season in terms of being in with the in crowd, not being a target. I think she was doing really well. I think if anything's going to hurt her this season, it is going to be if that injury flares itself up, because this season was filmed pretty quickly after All-Stars 2.
Yeah, hopefully she was able to recover well. She wasn't targeted immediately right away last season, so that's good for her. Now that Jody's not in the season, she's probably the strongest girl, so that could be a target for her.
Yeah, I could see her being a target mid-game.
Yeah.
After you get the first couple people who have just because they always want to throw in the newbies, nobodies in the first couple rounds.
Yeah. The ones that have no ties. I mean, we know Darrell loves working with Kendalls because they go back to road rules, so they're going to be working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see her doing well, but I can also see her, getting thrown into a few eliminations if she doesn't stay on top of the numbers early on. If she lets the game go by her instead of being proactive in the first 3 rounds. I see her being a target soon after that.
Yeah, she definitely needs to like stay on game wise. She needs to make alliances with the right people.
Yeah.
Speaking of alliances with the right people, we got your absolute favorite, Latarian. He's back again.
You know, when I saw the specifically the men in this cast, there is almost all repeats from the last 2 seasons. Outside of, I think
Wes.
Jordan is the only new one who is not already
Jordan
on an
Wes.
All-Star season, and Wes, yeah. And I just have to think that there, out of the entire history of challenge competitors, there couldn't have been anyone who's slightly more entertaining or interesting or capable than this guy.
I'm starting to
He's
think
back.
Latarian's another person that's kind of like face of All Stars in the mind of the producers.
The producers love him because they keep putting him back on the show. I don't see it. I repeatedly don't see it.
Yeah.
He's not entirely milquetoast, but he's pretty damn close. So yeah, I think the only thing to watch for this season, you know, he took out Tyler last season and then had his Hulk moment and then he got out. So
yeah. I mean, he has his buddy Nehemiah to look out for him, so he might be there. The thing is with
he got out.
it's not like
he got out because Kendall got out. When did he get out?
He got out, I think, right after Tyler. It was him and Jasmine. It was that elimination.
Right. Yeah. Oh, it was that sand puzzle challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, where Latarian had to listen, and he's known for not listening.
Yeah, I'm just over him. I hope he goes early and quickly and painlessly. You know, whatever. Sure. Like, I just want him to be like, I want him to be seen as I see him, which is forgotten.
Yeah. The best thing about Latarian is that he's one of the few males that is so far not offensive. And that's all you can ask for, really. Moving on to...
I don't know. I'm Team TV, and I'd almost take offensive over milquetoast.
It depends on the person for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you gave me a choice, do I want to see Jordan or Latarian? I would pick Latarian. Because...
I don't know. I might be opposite. I think I'm opposite of that.
Yeah, I just don't like horrible people.
There's so many options out there. So anyway, yeah, that's next person.
Maybe nobody else wanted to come back, and I was like, fine, we'll put him on. Well, next up we have the creator of the season. We got Mark Long.
Yeah, let's talk about insider trading.
Insider what?
Insider trading. You know what, though? He is a major face of the challenge. He recently had an appearance on, was it Celebrity Worst Cooks in America or Celebrity Cooks or something? He was on some kind of celebrity cooking show.
Yeah, I think it was Celebrity Worst Cooks in America. I think it was the same one Bananas was on at one point.
Yeah, so you know what? He's Mark Long is hot right now, so they had to bring him back.
Yeah, I mean
cool. He's 90s.
He's the Godfather. He's the literal Godfather of the challenge.
You know, I don't expect him to make it to the end, but he's gonna, you know, he's gonna grandstand for the camera the whole time he's there, and we're gonna see a lot of him. So it's fine. Like, do I expect everything from him? No, but you know, sure. Like, he's back. Cool. Like, no complaints.
Yeah, I think Mark's probably not going to do much because, like, Mark's friends with everyone. He's not going to target people because, like, well, they're my friends. You're friends with everyone in the house, mate.
And he's not even going to get offended if he gets thrown in. Let's be real. Like, he's just kind of there for a good time, not for a long time.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just here to get paid and to make entertainment.
Yeah.
Next up, we have, I want to say the underdog of last season or the secret person. What's another word for
I
like
think breakout
surprise
star.
threats? Breakout star. We have Melinda.
Yeah, Melinda. We didn't think anything of her before last season because what was there to think? She didn't really have a strong history record in the challenge, and then last season she really proved herself. Um, got to the final, did really well,
Yep, could have
and
got
yeah,
third.
I'm excited to see what she can do this season. She was smart, she was savvy, she was strong in the dailies, and she was really competitive in the final. And I think she could totally pull this out.
Yeah, I don't think Melinda's a very good competitor. We saw that last season. I think that's also going to be to her strat, where it's like she's not the best, she's not the worst, but she's like decent, where nobody will target her, but she'll still do good enough, and she does pose some threat in eliminations.
Yeah, like she's not going to be your first pick to go against in an elimination. Um,
Yeah, and she has like a lot of friends, especially friends with power. Like not only she has Nehemiah, she has Wes. We have like a real. There could be a real world Austin alliance going on.
Yeah, so I could see her. I see her being well connected. There's a lot of All Stars 2 people on here, and she was in good with
It's
most
pretty
of them.
much
So
yeah, it's pretty much All Stars 2 with a couple of extra people.
yeah,
Yeah. Speaking of All Stars 2, we talked about John A. Let's talk about her partner that won, MJ.
MJ. We totally overlooked him in the draft last season. Mostly because I mean, who's to remember that he's like 6 foot forever? He's huge. He's a freaking Goliath. Did not
Right
remember
there.
that, but um, he did pretty well socially too. I think MJ is somebody who, now that he has a win under his belt and a little bit of a reputation, it's gonna do him really poorly.
Yeah, people are gonna be
What?
looking at MJ being like tall, huge, won last season, don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, what served him well before is that he basically had not done a heck of a lot, other than winning Gauntlet 2. Um, and so he like wasn't seen as a threat. He was always one of those middle of the road bros in those early challenge seasons. And since he
I think
came
that's
back
probably
and
the
he
best way to
won and
describe
proved
him.
his physicality and his challenge prowess, um, I think he will be a target to send into elimination.
Yeah, probably. I think I do want to throw some credit on John A and be like, I think it helped that they were partners. Because since John A was good with everyone, nobody went after MJ. And
Hmm.
with this being solo, I think MJ has like good connections, but are they the right connections is another story.
Yeah, I just see him finding himself outside the numbers, maybe sooner rather than later, especially with this group. I mean, this is a group of very well connected people, who have been on all of the seasons together. You have big personalities. I see MJ being collateral damage to whatever strategic mechanic, uh, you know, antics that Wes is going on has got going. Um, I give MJ middle of the game.
Yeah. Now, this next one is let's sing it together. Safety Palace, Safety Palace.
Dallas.
The Safety Palace. We got Nehemiah, the palace ruler uh, of last season. He's back again for a third time. What do we think of Nehemiah?
King Nehemiah. He was great last season. He really stepped out of his shell and proved himself to be a strategic force and a physical force, which we already knew was a physical force. But like he really stepped out and tried to control his own fate, socially and strategically, and did very very well. I mean, he got to the final and came close to winning, and I think that we can see him basically doing well again. I have all the faith in Nehemiah to maneuver himself strategically. I think he's learned a lot over these past 2 seasons, and he's going to put everything he's learned to good use, like he did last season.
Yeah, and he has more members of the palace. Like he and Wes are like so close. Like you see them like hanging out together. Like I'm pretty sure he does business with Wes at some point, like actual business stuff. I don't understand it, but I'm pretty sure they do it. And those two together, he has Melinda again. He has Latarian again, and I'm pretty sure he can easily recruit some other people. He has Jemmy, and with Jemmy comes Mark potentially. That's like a strong group of people that he could have.
I mean, yeah, he kind of has Brad socially, although they were on opposite sides last season. I could see Nehemiah doing very well again, and I think that especially with the other men in this house, I think he is. I think he will. There's always a possibility he's going to be a first target.
Yeah,
just because of
I
last
mean he
season's divided
was
house.
last season as well. I'm pretty sure he went into the first elimination last season.
Yeah, but if he can get past that first round, basically, and just get past the first round, I could see him going deep again.
Yeah, and he better keep an eye on Derek because I'm pretty sure Derek is looking for revenge.
Yeah, that'd be a mistake on Derek's part. They need to squash that.
Yeah, they need to get rid of this weird rivalry that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it will be a mistake if either of them pursues that.
Yeah.
That conflict.
Next up, we have the only person this season to have never made a final, Naya. Now,
Naya.
TJ says everybody there has either made a final or won. Naya's only done 2 seasons and she's never made a final. So
yeah. So what was he talking about with Naya then?
I don't know. Like she never made a final, and it wasn't. So her last season was X's 2, where she got DQ'd for touching Jordan without consent, and that was at Final Four. However, that was before the final elimination, confirming Leroy was in the final. So I don't know if he just got mixed up, be like Naya made the final, but then DQ'd herself, so then we replaced her with Teresa. But no, Naya was DQ'd before officially Leroy was in the final. So she has technically never made a final. I don't know if she did a spin-off where she made the final.
No,
I don't think
not
she
that I
was.
remember.
Yeah, so
No.
I don't know what's going on with TJ when he said everyone made the final. And it's like all of you have made the final or made the final, or if you've won or your name is Naya.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. Like, I'm excited for Naya. Out of all the new non-all-stars people who can come back, if we're not going to see Beth and Tina in the same game again, at least we can see Naya and Jordan.
I'd rather we just not see Jordan at all.
So yeah, there's going to be a fight. I'm excited. I hope for
I think they're good now. There's going to be no fight.
Okay. I don't know. I could. She's somebody who I think was pretty strong as well. In her last season.
She almost made the finals. She probably would have made it had she just not got herself DQ'd. Because I'm pretty sure she would have beat Nani in that pole wrestle X Cross challenge, because she has like a good 2 feet on Nani.
Mm-hmm.
So she's definitely somebody. She might cause fights. I mean, Hurricane Naya, or as I like to call her, thanks to a Coral interview, Rainstorm Nia. I just remember Coral calling her that once in an interview, and I just thought it was so funny.
Oh, can we get Coral on here?
Oh yeah, why is Coral not back? I think she's too busy like having a good life.
Yeah, well, that's probably the right choice.
Yeah, damn
but
you,
anyway,
Coral, for choosing
excited
your
for
family.
Naya. I think she's a great casting pick. As far as someone who maybe doesn't have as much challenge history, someone who might have been a little bit forgotten. I think she's a great pick.
Oh, she was not forgotten. I mean, she's still remembered
for forgotten to history,
Yeah, maybe in challenge history. I think she definitely lives on in real world history. We all remember her in Portland. So that'd be interesting. Speaking of forgotten from history, our next person probably fits that state. We have Ronnie. So Ronnie's another person that was on that very first season where if you were on it, you were a winner. And she was also on the Gauntlet 1 which she also won. So her she's only been on 2 seasons and has technically won them both.
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. I'm pretty sure she's another person that has never been into an elimination as well. So
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Can she pull a yes and get to the end without ever being thrown into an elimination?
Maybe. The thing with Ronnie is like I remember on Gauntlet 1, she won a good few lifesavers. So I think she has that to her. Whether she still has it to these days, I do not know. She won with Darrell and she won with Veronica, so there's some connections there.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Ronnie. I don't really remember her. She's not one of the youngest on the cast. She's 43, playing this game, with a 29-year-old Kayla. But
she's almost double Kayla's age.
Yeah, she's got to be looking to just stay out of those early eliminations. That needs to be her goal. Just stay out of the early ones. Get in good with somebody who can stick their neck out for you. Like Darrell and Janelle last season. Like you want to get that one person who's really influential, who will keep you safe. That is Ronnie Chance's best chance.
It's her locked in chance.
Yeah. Ronnie Barton Chance.
Yeah. I think she needs to kind of pull a John A. Just like I can see her doing that, just like being in the background, not getting into anything, just coasting along, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, she's here."
Yeah, let people forget about her.
Yeah, and sometimes in seasons you want to be forgetting about. Now, you mentioned age. Probably the earliest person to be like, "This is the old man." We got Cyrus. He's back and without Beth this time.
Yeah. Oh gosh, how old is he now? I mean, he wasn't young in the last All Stars. He was he was over 50 then.
Yeah, he's probably still over 50 because. I mean, you Cyrus, have like Mark here, who's like
okay. He's. He must be turning 51, 52 this year. What should I say about Cyrus? He went home with an injury. Like it was in an elimination, but he had an injury that caused him and Beth to lose. So that kind of
Beth wasn't helping in those either.
No, but that sucks. Like, of course, Beth gets screwed over by another just crappy circumstance. Sorry, I'm Beth Stan. But by proxy, Cyrus was very likable in his last outing. He was a fun underdog, and I'm thinking he's gonna be likable again, be rootable again, and be a prime person to drag into an elimination because you got a decent shot against him.
Yeah, so he'd definitely be someone to be like, I'm going to save you for when I'm elimination. And he doesn't get into fights with anyone. Like, he's just like there to chill.
No, he's not. Socially, he does fine, but the reason he's going to lose is because someone else thinks they can beat him.
Yeah, and they probably will.
And they probably can.
Yes. Next is probably the biggest surprise to be on an All-Star is Sylvia. Again, another person that is like, you can be on the regular season still.
Yeah, she really can.
I think she might. I think she's probably around Kayla's age as well.
Yeah, she's in that late 20s. I'm trying to load up what her actual age is. Here we are. She's 33. She's 33, so she's still one of the younger ones in the challenge. She's she was always somebody who was a little bit of an underdog in her seasons, and overlooked, but she would prove herself in her eliminations. So like she has that epic elimination against Melissa with the oil wrestling, and that one's just iconic. And then her following season, she made it to a final with Joss, who really did not, who totally underestimated her. And so I think people's mistake is that they're going to underestimate her again. But I think in an all-star season, being one of the younger ones and probably one of the more physical ones, she's going to do pretty well here. I don't know if she's going to do well socially, but she's going to do well in the challenges.
I feel like I'm one of the people that's like, I don't really care for Sylvia. It's not that I don't like her, I just don't have an opinion of her. And I never really had since she's been on the challenge. She was just always somebody that was there for me. I know her and Kayla are close because they have their dolphin alliance. It also doesn't help that she's a member of the Chrysanthemums, and I just don't like Amanda and Shane. So that kind of also lowered my opinion of her. I don't really have an opinion of her. I can see her kind of just being in the middle or probably going early.
Yeah, I mean, she was part of a team who knocked out Bananas in an elimination and who knocked out Tori in an elimination. So I have some faith in her capabilities. I like Sylvia a lot. I think she has an underdog mentality that's really rootable. And will she make it to the end? I have no idea. I just don't even know if she has the connection she needs in this cast, especially to make it all the way. But
See,
if you
that's
throw in an elimination,
Sylvia's
I'm probably betting on her over a lot of people here.
Yeah, I think that's Sylvia's thing. Like she kind of attaches herself to a big group of people, and then it kind of just strung along. Like she's very good at
Yeah.
writing the coattails, and I can see her
Yeah.
doing that. Like she's close with Kayla, who's close with Jemmye, and Jemmye's known for creating those big groups. So I can just see her kind of leeching off of that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the women in this cast, and I think she's in the upper half of people who are likely to win an elimination.
I can see her winning one or two. Like I said, I just don't have a high opinion of her, or I don't really have an opinion of her.
I think the
Maybe she'll
problem is I
change
don't
my
know if
mind this season.
I just don't know if she can stay out of the elimination.
Yeah, she's
That's my
somebody I
question.
can easily Yeah, I can see people easily being like picking Sylvia to go into elimination time after time.
Yeah.
From somebody who I have no opinion of to somebody I have a high opinion of and can't wait to see. We have Tina. Tina
Oh,
actually recently replied to one of my comments.
no way. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I do not understand it because it's just an emoji.
So Tina, last time we saw her, she basically self-eliminated in a elimination with Melinda because she was worried about losing herself to the game. And so to see her back so soon, a little surprising that she didn't want to take more time off. But I'm happy she's here, and I'm hoping that she is coming in with a mentality to win because Tina has the ability to kick ass in this game and win daily challenges and really put herself into a power position. I hope she does that. And I think the main question is she in it to win it this season?
Yeah, I am praying that Tina is. I'm hoping she's like, I don't care. If I'm going to get loud in people's faces, I'm just going to get loud. And if people have a problem with that, well, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
And her and Jemmye and like Kellyanne are going to like help with those confessionals. They're going to make up
Yes.
for like Latarian's lack of presence.
The women are going to be running the confessionals this season. It is not going to be close.
Women always run the confessionals. It's just whether the editors decide to show them is another story.
I'm excited for Tina. I think she's, she's somebody I'm rooting for. Rooting for to go far.
Yeah. We are rooting for Tina. Somebody else that we're rooting for because we need the gays. We have Tyler. Please don't get screwed this season.
I love Tyler, and I'm worried for Tyler.
I'm very worried because Tyler, last season he kept getting thrown, pretty much being the pawn, because it's like nobody's going to vote in Tyler because everybody loves Tyler. Everybody loves the gays. It's a horrible stereotype, but true. But bad in
Tyler needs to attach himself to
someone.
I don't even know if it necessarily matters which side of the house they're on. Like, I can see him attaching himself to Wes and doing well. I can see him attaching himself to Darrell. I can see him attaching himself to Derek and doing well. I think he needs to attach himself to somebody else who's well connected and is and needs to just kind of go all in on that relationship strategically. I think part of his problem last season was that he was a little bit too in the middle. And so I think he needs to just kind of dive in a little bit more, especially if he's not confident in these relationships. He's going to have a really tough time getting through this game because the challenge competitors with the guys, like there's only a couple guys who I would instantly label as weaker than Tyler. Otherwise, he's on a pretty tough playing field. The only real people I think would be thrown in terms of being easy layups is like Cyrus and maybe Yes, because he hasn't been in one. Maybe Letarian. And after
Letarian sent him home last time.
Yeah, but after that, there's Tyler. Tyler's is going to be seen as a beatable competitor, and that's not a good reputation to have.
No, he needs to solidify himself with someone. He can't be all wishy-washy and be friends with everyone. Well, he can be, but when it comes to game-wise, he needs to pick someone and just kind of attach themselves to them, hey, protect me. I don't know who that person is, but we need something gay this season.
We do.
All the gays around. Yeah, all the gays got voted off first last time.
Yeah, that was rough. Let's hope it doesn't happen
again. The challenge
again.
is homophobic.
Obviously, yeah, I agree.
Clearly. Speaking of gays, we haven't. Well, I don't want to say too much because I actually don't know. We have the original Mean Girl herself. We have Veronica.
Yes, Queen. No, she's part of the Rainbow Coalition.
Yay! I don't know which letter, but she's a part of it.
Yes. I think she's bi, but
we won't get into it.
She's in there.
Yeah, she's somewhere.
I love Veronica. I'm so happy she's back, and honestly, this is the perfect venue for her. Because Veronica switched, she is old school challenge in all of the best ways. She's there for personality and not for being an elite athlete, but she can compete and she can do things, but she's there to drink her rosé and talk shit about everyone else, and we love her for it. And we want her here around. We want her here a long time for it. We don't need to get 20 workout montages every episode. What we want is Veronica being the queen bee bitch that she is, and that's what I'm hoping for this season.
We have 2 of the 3 original Mean Girls with Veronica and Tina. I can just you just see workout montages of all the guys, and then it cuts to the pool, and it's just Veronica, Tina, Jemmy, just laying there with a cigarette and a martini glass, being dance for us.
That's what I'm here for. So I'm so glad she's back. She doesn't really fit on the regular challenge seasons anymore. No. And even if it did shift in the direction I'd want, she's a little bit past the level of competition. She's 44 now, but I think she's gonna fit right in here, and I just hope she sticks around and does well, because I could use more Veronica on my TV.
Yeah, we need more TV gold, and that what Veronica is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for the women. Our last 2 are both men, so sorry that we had to end it on a male note, but we probably next up is, well, I keep flipping, but my original first ever favorite challenge competitor that I saw in my very first season. We got Wes. the strategist mastermind. He's on an all-star season.
Yeah, Wes is good at this game to a degree.
Absolutely.
To a degree. He has weaknesses. He absolutely does. But I think that's what I love about Wes is you can basically bring him back every season and you're gonna get a varied performance out of him.
Yeah.
It might be an underdog run, it might be a puppet master, it might be a social, like, I'm kind of friends with everyone, and he's kind of admitting that to the camp. Like, you're gonna get a slightly different role from him because people's perception to him shifts from season to season as to whether they can actually work with him or not. And so his he doesn't do consistently well, and I think that makes him more compelling because he's not like I don't know, somebody who just always, he's not like okay, I'm gonna compare, you're gonna cringe at this name, but he's not a Casey.
I was like, Casey Cooper?
Recent modern regular challenge who she has no personality, but she's always gonna go far. And it's like, that's boring. She's always going to go far because she's a competitor, but like, she's not fun or interesting to watch. And
just
part of it is because we know she's always going to go far. Wes, we don't know how he's going to do, but it's fun to see how far he gets.
Yeah, and Wes puts on a show. Like, he gives you the dramatics, he gives you the theatrics. Whether he's doing great or doing bad, he always he is like he's one of the very few males that like makes the show entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
because there's not that many.
He's going to be proactive in his strategy, and I like to see that. I like to see someone trying rather than going along with the flow. Even when there is groupthink, Wes does not subscribe to the groupthink.
No, Wes does his own thing.
So he's fun. I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, he's going in with friends. He has his Austin people with Nehemiah and Melinda. So he might be the silent partner of Safety Palace.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see him thrown into elimination at some point, but
I just
we just want to see. I want to see him do what Wes does, which is
chaos. Wes brings the chaos. And from Wes, we already were like getting mixed up with his name. We have Wes, and now we have Yes, one of my favorite Twice songs.
Wes and Yes. What's there to say about Yes? We last saw him in All Stars 1. He won. Never went into an elimination. He is still never had a confession.
Never had a confessional.
Did he never have a confessional?
Okay, he did have confessionals, but it was like he had a confessional like the first episode and then the last two.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. He was super under-edited. I think there's a thing to say about Yes, if anything, is he's from Berkeley. That's where I live right now. What's there to say? He is a threat in a final because of his adventure racing background. Now everyone knows it. They didn't think he was anything before. And they know that he's never been in elimination. Yes is going into an elimination, and he's going to lose to an elimination.
If he does not go into that first elimination, I would be shocked.
I don't know if he's going to go in the first one, but he's going to be going into one, and it's going to be pretty. It's going to be in the first half of the season, and he's going to get out because of it. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be not his first elimination. Maybe he gets a win, but he's not long for the game. Yes is not sticking around. I'm calling it
absolutely not. He is not sticking around. And I don't know. You were saying like we talked about Latarian being nothing. Yes was kind of nothing his first season as well. So we might not get much from him TV-wise. He might just be there in the background.
I think the one thing that's compelling about Yes is that he is a known winner, but an unknown potential in challenges, basically.
Yeah, and another thing is like he's like one of the very few humble or like decent people from this show.
Yeah, he seems like a nice, normal human.
Yeah, he's like building houses for humanities. He's like trying to help the world. Yeah, so let's
Good.
see if he can help himself in the challenge.
And he's got
So
$500,000 in his pocket. I don't think he necessarily cares a ton about winning. He's probably doing this season for fun.
probably. And that's the cast. All 24 of them.
Oof. It's a good,
Yeah.
you know what? It's a good cast. I'm overall pretty happy. I think my biggest gripe is mostly that there's
Letarian.
not enough variability with the men compared to the last two
If
seasons.
there ever is.
If I can swap Letarian for another newbie, that I think that would balance it well, a little bit better.
Yeah. I think
But other than
get
that,
rid
like
of
I'm pretty
Jordan.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even
I,
I'm not even mad at the Jordan casting. I'm mostly happy with this cast. They did a good job.
yeah, I am happy with the cast except for Jordan. He's like the only one just because I just don't want to watch him on my screen. And like I said, the only question marks for me, like why are they cast, was Kayla and Sylvia, because I believe they can still be on the regular
Well,
challenge
Sylvia is at least the age that Jemmy was
when she
in
played
All
All
Stars
Stars 1.
1. Yeah.
Okay. It's just
So
I
there's
still think Sylvia is
that.
like very modern.
She pretty much is. Yeah, I mean I'm not totally griping on it, but like
Yeah,
that would
it's
be
like
a small improvement.
yeah, oh, and Naya being there, and it's supposed to be everyone that's made a final, and she has not made a final.
Yeah, I mean, there's other names that I would be happy to see in Sylvia and Kayla's places, but I'm happy that they are here nonetheless. I think my biggest gripe in this cast is Letarian,
Yeah, and
and
mine
not
was
just for Letarian alone. It's for the fact that there's it's
she does
10
nothing.
it's 10 guys from All Stars 1 and 2 and two new ones, and it's like, why can't we just X one more?
Yeah,
You know, why was he necessary to bring back for a third time in a row?
yeah,
Give him a break.
and
Does the man have
yeah.
a job? I don't know.
I mean, he had to have one. I mean, he didn't show up to the challenge before the first All Stars in like what 15 years.
Yeah. Oh, he's from North
Something like.
Carolina.
Oh, fun. It's like everybody's home state.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
that's all the cast.
overall happy.
Yeah. And we did this the past 2 seasons. Will we draft who we have our winner picks?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to have 12 each, 6 guys, 6 girls? Or
No, I like having the possibility of both of us losing.
yeah. So 24 divided by 3.
And especially because we don't know the mechanism of how to win. Like we don't know teams or individuals. There's a possibility that both of us could win, that neither of us could win, or one of us could like win halfway, which I still think counts as a win. But I think it still counts as a win. If you get one person in the winner circle, you're a winner. If you get both, you're a double winner.
Yeah.
I
mean, you still currently have the title because you had John A as one of your picks.
Yes, as the reigning champion. I think I'd like to say I think we still go with 24 people. I think we still try to pick
4 guys, 4
each.
girls each, and then the audience will have 4 guys and 4 girls.
The remainders, and maybe we'll be wowed.
Yeah, I'll just pull up the document. Here it is. Since you won last season, I'm going to give myself the advantage of picking first.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start with the guys since they're very uninteresting, and then we'll go with the girls.
Okay.
For my first guy, I'm going to go with Wes. He's like one of my favorites of all time. He's like the first challenge competitor I ever rooted for.
It's a good pick.
Right. Who is your first pick?
I'm going Darrell. I mean, he's consistently getting through this, and I don't see him being a target again. So.
All right. Okay. Who? I feel like we just picked all the good ones. It's like, who's left in this cast? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Nehemiah.
Oh, I was gonna pick him. Okay.
Safety Palace.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Right.
Who is next? I'm going to go with MJ.
Oh, now you're picking him.
Yeah, now I'm gonna pick him. I regretted not picking him last season. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him this season. I don't know if he can get to the end again, but
He might
maybe.
do good.
He is a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah. Back to me. I'm gonna go on the gay train and pray for Tyler.
Oh, good. I'm glad Tyler's getting picked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I can. I want to, because but yeah, I just don't necessarily have faith in him. Okay. There's 3 people who I'm looking at as potential picks.
And you can have 2 of them.
I'm gonna go Derek.
Derek, good choice, good choice.
Yeah.
We got a real rivalry, Derek versus Nehemiah. Here, I'm gonna put their names like right next to each other
Let's
just
do it.
because it's fun. Oh, whoops. I know how to use this, I swear. Right, my last pick. Oh, I feel like there's no good options left.
Not really.
I'm gonna go with The Godfather. I'm gonna go with Mark Long.
Okay. Mark could win his, at 50-something years old, come back and win the show that he produced.
Yeah, Mark is immortal. He is never leaving the show.
Yeah, I feel like the legal ramifications of a Mark win, he doesn't even want to get into. Okay. I'm going to start by picking the people who I don't want. And you can just throw them in the audience, since I have the last pick here. I'm not picking Cyrus.
Well, I'm going to put in the obvious one first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not picking Lyterian. I'm not picking Cyrus. I'm not picking Yes.
So it's either Jordan
or Brad.
Or Brad. Oh God, not this again.
So this is tough, to be honest, because there's one that I think is likelier to win, and then there's one who I can stomach winning a little more.
It's like, do you want the meathead or the dickhead?
But I like to hedge my bets, and so in case the winner outcome is one that I do not love, at least I can win the draft. So I'm gonna go with Jordan.
Yeah, you're not making the same mistake. Yeah, Jordan, he is like one of the best challenge players of all time, but I don't think I can live with myself picking him in a draft.
Yeah, Brad is not a bad choice. I just don't see him doing it without.
No, he is a bad choice. It's just he's better than Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's
enough about the boring men. Let's talk about who we actually care about, the females.
Yes, queens.
You can have, since I had first pick of males, you can have first pick of females.
And you know what? I'm gonna make a pick you're not gonna be happy with. I'm gonna pick Janae again.
We're keeping the trend going.
I want Janae. I think she can repeat success. She's been untouchable to this point, and she can do no wrong in my book.
I'm going to be more realistic, and I'm going to pick Kendall.
Yeah, that's the move. Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go with my heart and pick Tina. I want Tina on my team.
Okay, Miss Tina. I'm so happy you picked her because I was arguing between. I think you know who I'm going to be picking.
Mm-hmm. Kellyanne.
Yeah, I'm picking Kellyanne.
Yeah, you can have Kellyanne.
Yeah, I have probably the 2 best females, and my tradition is picking all the Ks.
Well, I wouldn't want to ruin that for you. Okay. Well, maybe. Let's see. Out of the people left, there's 4 who I'm considering.
Before you do that, I think it's safe to say neither of us are picking these 2. Cynthia and Ronnie.
No. They're, it's hard to pick the unknowns.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with. Oh, this is tough. You go with Jemmy.
Jemmy, you are just picking all the confessional people, aren't you?
I might regret it, but how can I regret it though?
Yeah. Well, you go with confessional. I'm going to stick with Team Austin strong, and I'm gonna pick Melinda again.
Okay, strong pick. Strong pick.
Yeah, I have all of the real world Austins on my side.
Okay, this is tough. Okay, because there's a couple people who are like definitely competitors, and then there's one person who would be criminal if she was left undrafted, and
Oh,
I cannot let that happen. So
Veronica.
I have to pick Veronica. I
Veronica.
will not let her
All
go to the audience. I want Veronica on my team.
and I'm gonna keep the K train going. And wait, hold on. The last three are Naya. So yeah, I'm picking Kayla.
Mm. So Sylvia
So,
goes to the audience,
and
and
Naya.
Naya. Yeah.
For the life, I can never spell Sylvia's name right.
Yeah, I think it's tough for me not to pick Sylvia. She's definitely a contender for me.
But it's Veronica.
Naya would be an outside pick, but it wouldn't be unbelievable. Um, Kayla's definitely a strong contender. Yeah, it's tough. I think the woman crowd here has a lot of fun personalities. So
Yeah, a
it's
lot of personality. So on your team this season, you have Darrell, MJ, Derek, Johnny, Tina, and Veronica. While I have Wes, Tyler, Nehemiah, Mark, Kendall, Kellyanne, Kayla, and Melinda. And then the audience slash who we don't want are Latarian, Cyrus, Yes, Brad, Cynthia, Ronnie, Naya, and Sylvia.
yeah, it's a good group.
Yeah. Do we have any? Let's. Okay, I'm just gonna stop sharing. So let's predict. Do we have any predictions on what's gonna happen? Do we have predictions on? Well, do we have hopes on like, please don't let this happen?
I mean, my only hope is that none of my favorites go home. But that's unrealistic. I think. Let me think about the first episode. What do I want to? Who am I okay with leaving the first episode? That would
Latarian.
be satisfying. Yeah, Latarian. I think Yes would be a satisfying first episode boot. I think someone like Naya, if she came in like really, really hot, would be a fun first boot. Yeah, that's about all I can think of being happy about losing right away. Maybe Cyrus,
I
but
pretty much
yeah,
made it clear on like I just don't want Jordan in the season, so I'd be happy if he is gone like right away. Like,
yeah, kind of have a who is the one in the first season who went home first? What was his name?
which season?
First All Stars, Ace.
Ace. Yeah, let's hope it's like that. Or better, yeah, I hope he goes home like Adam R from Rivals One and just gets DQ'd right away. Like, I want him to like get off the helicopter boat, and the second he lands, it's like, sorry, we have to get rid of you because we're now canceling people.
You know what I want to happen though. Okay, now
What?
you just inspired me. Okay, I want somebody like Hurricane Naya to come in, tear up the house for no reason, like night one, get disqualified, and then bring in Beth as an alternate.
Yeah, let's have that happen. And also Jordan get kicked off.
Fan fiction.
Fan fiction.
Yeah, wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah, get Beth on a season.
Yeah,
Imagine
bring her
like
back.
Beth and then like reunite with like Veronica and Tina.
Yeah, I mean, there was rumors about Beth coming back, so I'm not losing all hope until I see that first episode.
Maybe somebody will pull an Arissa and quit, and Beth will have to come in as a replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope nobody quits this season because last season we had Tina leaving, we had Casey becoming pregnant, the good Casey, not the boring one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope for that.
So there's a rumor I'm reading about. So apparently, there was a rumor that Beth was supposed to be on the cast, but was demoted to alternate when Beth and Tina got at it at the airport.
Oh no! So there's still some beef there.
But she was basically refusing to be on if Tina was on.
Oh, so they still don't like each other.
Oh, damn.
Oh. And I was gonna say something, then I immediately forgot it.
So
Oh
anyway,
yeah,
this is airing on Wednesday. So we're gonna aim for this season to be doing these on Fridays.
Fridays, probably around these times.
Something like that, yeah. It might get a little tricky week to week, depending on life things.
There might be a couple of double up episodes. If there's an episode where nobody goes home, we will just recap it the next time.
Yeah.
That's another thing I hope for. I hope there's like no, except for the premiere. Yeah, I'm okay with the premiere being a non-elimination episode.
No, I'm not. I want every episode to have an elimination. We have 24 people. Get rid of them. We don't need 12 people going into the final episode. You can get rid of people. It's okay. We're happy to see them, and we're happy to see them leave.
Yeah. I think I'm only okay with the premiere because it's kind of like Drag Race premiere. Like, you just want like one episode to get to know everyone, and then like, okay, now I'm ready to see these bitches leave.
Well, give us a double episode premiere then. I mean, like, I don't want to wait a week. Just
give us like
have an elimination.
Yeah, give us like an hour and a half premiere.
Yeah. It's on Paramount Plus anyway. There's no runtime limits.
Yeah, just give us a long premiere, and then like a decent amount. No non-elimination. We don't. Speaking of Drag Race 14, we don't want a Drag Race 14 where there's like 5 non-elimination episodes and nobody goes home.
No non-elimination. We had 24 people. You have to get through them. Yeah. I think one of my gripes about these all-star seasons is that they tend to they do the single person eliminations like in the first couple rounds, and it just goes a little bit slowly to cut people down. It's no, we have to actually start eliminating people at some point. So I wish the eliminations went a little bit quicker on these all-star seasons.
Yeah, definitely make these eliminations where 2 people go home each time. I don't want to be like, today's a men's day, next episode, now it's a woman's day. So every week 2 people should go home.
Yeah.
And no surprise partner twists. If they're going to be partners, keep them partners from the beginning, or just don't have them as partners at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And 2 winners. I hope there's 2 winners.
2 winners, male and female.
Yeah.
I hope there's a challenge trivia contest because we love those here. Well, I do at least.
Yeah, they'll have a challenge trivia. Although that's been happening in episode 2 on these All Stars.
Yeah, there's always some trivia challenge. Like the first one was a regular trivia one, and then the next one was a category trivia where it's name Survivor winner that's won at least 2 challenges, and then it keep going.
Yeah, the challenge I hope they bring back is
the ice block.
The ice block, yes. No, the retro game show styled food eating.
Oh god, yeah, good old classic eating challenge.
We didn't get to see food eating challenge till the last stage of the finale last season. We could bring that in sooner. We like a gross section on these challenges. That's a staple of the challenges. Survivor's giving it up more or less, but we still want to see people eating gross things and vomiting on this show. This is a classy show.
This is a classy show. And more fun, stupid challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything has to be heights over water. Thank God Katie's not on. I swear, if this is Katie's not on this season and not every challenge is heights over water, she's going to be oh, now you stay on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least don't have to worry about that girl anymore.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
I'd like that bring back that well, not exactly this one, but it's that trapdoor challenge that they had in season 1. Because that was cool.
Fun. Yeah, with the puzzle,
and then it's at any moment you will fall. So
yeah.
I think that's everything we can discuss. If anything else we need to talk about?
No, I'm just excited to get this one going.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for watching. Like we said, you can check out the challenge on Paramount Plus. We don't need to advertise this. They definitely got enough viewers. Follow the Live Reality Game Shows podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you do not want to watch the video and look at all this, then you can listen to the audio form on, I want to say, iHeartRadio. Give us 5 stars, thumbs up, all the podcast things that podcast people say. And we'll see you next time for a Challenge All-Star, I almost said Survivor, Challenge All-Stars episode recap. Bye, everyone.